Okay, fine. I know this guy's been watching me. This is the $1,400 Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra with one of the craziest zoom lenses on a smartphone to date. This is Michael McKeever, a New York City private investigator.
I've been a private eye for over 30 years. Well, I work in the street a lot. I do a lot of surveillance, so being out in my car and getting pictures of people without them knowing, that's just another day at the office for me, really.
Sure, having a better zoom lens has some appeal in everyday life. Yeah, for birding and things. But I couldn't think of a real reason anyone needed an 100x zoom on their smartphone. Except, of course, if your job is to watch people without them knowing. So we had Mike test in 3 situations to see how the Galaxy S20 Ultra compares to the iPhone 11 Pro Max, his go-to Sony camcorder, and the $1,000 Nikon Coolpix P1000. Test 1. From a car into an apartment window. Distance, about 50 feet. Okay, maybe I set the scene inside a bit.
The Samsung takes an awesome picture. We wouldn't normally be shooting into someone's apartment like this, but it is an impressive camera.
Turns out PIs don't really shoot into people's homes because it can break privacy laws. When comparing shots, it was nuts how much better the Samsung was compared to the iPhone. That's because the Galaxy S20 has this new telephoto lens with what Samsung calls a folded zoom mechanism. It uses the phone's 3 lenses to create 10x hybrid optical zoom, then magnifies that for 100x digital zoom. That's a lot of marketing jargon, but what you need to know is that shots between 10x and 30x are crisp. Shots up to 100x, not so much.
But the quality of the pictures is good until you get to the really max zoom.
As you may have guessed, that Nikon's 125x optical zoom produced a crazy clear image. Just look at the detail in my earring. The Sony with its 30x optical zoom wasn't too shabby either. Test 2. A moving subject. Distance about 150 feet.
When you go to the 100, it's hard to even find her in the frame.
The results? It's so hard to take a shot of a moving object past the 30x setting.
The tripod I would never do, unless I was a wedding photographer maybe.
And even then, the shots at 30x were clearer and said a lot more about the scene. Nothing beat the Nikon, though, for getting the action of the pic. For moving shots like this, Mike prefers his camcorder. And I see why. By the way, it was a scratch, not a pic. Test 3. Text on a computer screen. Distance, about 15 feet. I wrote the first line in 14-point font, the second in 24-point. The results? The Galaxy S20 Ultra can really capture some things you may not want people seeing on your screen.
It's good. The quality of the pictures is good. As far as the magnification, the 30x is really good. Would really be useful.
And while the quality isn't as good as the Nikon or even Mike's trusty camcorder, it's a heck of a lot more discreet. How you been, Mike?
Good.
You been watching me?
Yeah.
So would you buy one?
Would I buy one? I would buy one, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of, locked in on Apple now with so many things, but yeah, it's definitely an improvement, I think, as far as cameras go.
I agree, and the shots are really impressive for a smartphone. But do we want everyone to have PI tools in their pocket?
Some guys focus on trying to get the best equipment. I don't really ascribe to that. I feel like Eric Clapton's not a great guitar player because he bought the most expensive guitar in the world. It has to do with the skill of the operator.
Still, I'd close the windows.